Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
How are you? Yeah, good. Very good. Life's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. You know, I've been doing a little bit of work lately, and I think just out of habit, you always go, "Oh, not bad." It's more on the negative, but I'm good, mate.
When you say doing work, do you mean on yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm doing this little 17-week program just to reset.
17 weeks.
Yeah, it takes a long while to rewire the brain, as they say.
What kind of rewiring?
A lot of what
are you
we do and
experiencing now?
act and feel and react is through preconceived kind of notions that we've consumed over our life. So I'm just rewiring it so that I'm
Give me an example.
well, anything like that. Like I just said, if people ask you how you are, I'm not bad.
Okay.
Well, I'm actually great.
You look great.
You know,
Thank
you've changed the mood in here as well.
Yeah,
So
it's
you're not
also
just
about
rewiring
taking
yourself.
responsibility for 100% of your emotions, your reactions, your everything. Like,
Shit.
you know, if there's a negative thought that's not life or death, then it's a waste of time.
Have you gone to the crystal shop?
No, but I think that might be the next step. It might be the next step.
Now, that's only two voices we can hear. One of our merry gents is, sorry, Matthew Gitto, where are you?
I'm in London. I'm in the motherland.
Wow. It looks like a bit of sun going through the window there, bro.
Like, honestly, yesterday I saw blokes out in the balcony having beers. I felt like I'm in the wrong country. It was beautiful here.
What takes you to London? Like, why are you there?
Well, I just felt like coming, taking a little trip, just getting away for the weekend.
What, you got 36 hours on the ground over there and then straight back into business?
Yeah, well, the thing is that I miss the family so much. So
Yeah.
I said, look, I'll go over, but you've got to make sure that I can get straight back to them. So,
You miss them so much. You flew out on Mother's Day. Yeah.
well, it's not really for me. That's the kids to celebrate their mother.
What about your mum?
Good question. Mum, happy Mother's Day. Love you.
Let me do my little intro here, guys, and then we can get into it. We have a cracking show lined up. I mean, last
Oh, and
week
also,
was-
happy Mother's Day to all of our mums, right? Yeah.
yes, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day,
Mum.
Kaz.
Trish.
Kaz. But also, welcome back. Swoop.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Lazarus.
We'll get into that. Let's do
All
this
right,
a little
sorry.
bit. Then we'll get, because that was amazing. Hello, welcome to the KOKO Show. It's kickoffs and kick-ons. It's a vibe. It's a good vibe. It's about rugby. It's about mateship. Thanks for tuning in. Today's show is more jam-packed than a prop sock. It is wall-to-wall ruggers action. Listen to this sweet little list of enticements. All the superb rugby takeaways you could ever wish for. A delightful little look at the Wallaroos versus the Black Ferns. Plus, we are on the precipice of the Lions season down here in Oz, and we have two locally born Lions legends who will join us. Sione Tuipulotu. After chatting to him last week, he's back on, and that madman Mack Hansen will swing by as well. Honestly, this show just gets better and better every single week. Adam Ashley Cooper, Drew Mitchell, Matt Giddo, you know how it works. That's me done. Gents, off you go. What do you want to talk about the last week when you died?
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing.
It's quite emotional.
So,
For some.
yes, if you missed it last week, we held it's a live
Pre-memoriam?
eulogy.
Yeah.
Pre-memoriam. Which is a movement you're trying to start, Drew, right?
Well, like I said last week, it's an opportunity to tell the people in your circle and the people that you love and that you care about that you love them, but why you love them as well. We always sort of talk about when people pass away, then everyone says all these amazing things about them, but why not tell them before they pass? Or you hear people say, geez, I wish I had the chance to say that to someone. Well, you do. So take it. And that's what we did for Swoop last week. We'd also like a bit of a call to action. So for you and all your friends out there, do it.
Yeah.
Film yourselves doing it and send it into the KOKO Show.
Get one of
we
your
want to
mates.
see and hear some of your pre-eulogies, your pre-memoriams, and how you get around your mates as well.
Get one of your mates to drop dead. Say
Not
something nice about it.
figuratively, not literally.
I love it. I love it. Send in
Either
a
or.
vision of you all standing around a mate that's dead, talking about how awesome he is. Send it in at kickoffs and kick-ons. I noticed that the three of us all collabed on the post on Instagram, but was it too close to home, or was there a reason you didn't collab on it? Or
I'm not too sure. May have just slipped through the cracks, but I did get a lot of feedback. A lot of people reaching out. Have you left the show? Have you actually died?
People just don't read captions. Or
Yeah.
It was weird.
What's with this RIP stuff,
Yeah.
like all of it? I'm just like,
Imagine-
I had to, maybe I didn't get a chance to collaborate because I was too busy kind of bloody
Putting out fires.
putting out fires.
Gits.
Yeah, I had that moron, Lindsay Stevens. He reached out and said, "What's happening to Swoop? Can't he do the podcast anymore?" I was like, "Oh my God, you just keep getting dumber and dumber." every day."
I heard that Darcy Breen thought it was an opportunity for him to maybe come in and take a spot on the couch.
Yeah, Big Darcy, he put his hand up. I said, "Mate, look, unfortunately, there's no beef eater. There's nothing in it for you anymore." So he's moved on.
Did he put his hand up or his neck up?
Yeah. No, totally.
Google Darcy Breen neck. It's a great one. It's a good laugh. Now, it was Mother's Day on the weekend. That's where we're going to take our learnings from. Did we all take any learnings? Did we treat our mums great or our wives or whatever it is? Who wants to go first? Swoop.
Yep. Well, the learning was probably prepare a little bit early. I sent, because my mum lives in Perth, I sent her a box of chocolates and a bottle of champagne, Bollinger.
Ooh.
That's the quickest and the easiest way to your mum's heart is a bottle of champagne. But she was out on the piss and didn't get to it. So hopefully the chockies didn't melt. She only got to it today.
Oh, right. Oh,
No doubt she's
Monday
probably-
champers for her.
Yeah.
How good.
Oh, nothing better.
Little Mother's Day bender for Kaz, eh?
Oh, she's in it. Oh, she loves it.
Oh, little kick on for Kaz.
Kaz? What
Yeah,
about your Kaz?
my learnings, learn your parents' new address. I sent some flowers to their old address. So they got, whoever lives there now, got some lovely flowers.
Good on you.
They were great flowers too. Mum, you would have loved them.
Is this what you told your mum? Oh, no, I sent flowers. Send them to the old address. That old chestnut. Now, Goit, did you look after your mum or your wife or?
Well, I was over here, but I did pre-book, so I did the right thing. So I booked, had a little nice bottle of gin hidden away with a card for Bianca and told Kai, because if I told Levi would have forgotten or broken it or done something. So I told Kai and he remembered, brought it up, gave it to her. Bianca loved that. Sent Mum the flowers as well. And then when I get back, I'll take both the girls out to dinner.
Very good. Now,
What about you, Prof?
Yeah, I looked after both my wife and my mum. I've learnt that when you say, like, to your wife, what would you like for Mother's Day? It's a different response to when they say, what would you like for Father's Day? Do you know what I mean? I tend to go a different direction to my wife.
What sort of direction do
Well,
you
she
go
wants
in?
me to leave her alone.
Right, yeah,
whereas, you know.
Oh,
Oh, right. Whereas you want her to be all over you.
I wouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. They're very different thought patterns.
Yeah.
Men and women. The other thing I learned is I lead a very different lifestyle to Matt Giddo. So on Friday, I was texting Gits back and forth. We were just chatting some NBA because I think his team, the Warriors, had lost or won or whatever it was. I said, what's going on? Where are you? He sent through this little video here. Just play the Gits one first. If you're listening, Tommy's just playing it right now. This was Gits on Friday night Sydney time.
On my way to London. Got a little gig lined up, and it's either coincidence or just lucky that when I'm not with the KOKO boys, I'm turning left. Oh, very left.
Very
Yeah, it's solid. 1A. I did
Doesn't
see
get
that.
any more left than that.
He put a little post up, I think, in the airport. And if you concentrated closely enough, you could see 1A. I was like, mate.
So while Gits is going 1A, this is where I am at the exact same time. I'm on the rattler. I'm on the bus.
On the loser cruiser.
Oh, wow.
Heading to the footy.
Jeez, that's a long
That's
bus.
real.
Yeah, could not. Well, obviously can't afford an Uber. So
It's like one of those 17, 18. Yeah.
Mate,
the
I
old
bet
18
also
wheeler.
with that hoodie and beanie combo, no one's sitting next to you.
No, it was on my own. I don't think it matters. I'm wearing the beanie and the hoodie. Anyway, that is the difference between Gits and I. Guys, the Lions squad got announced last week. We obviously had the KOKO locked in Lions.
Yeah.
Close. Congratulate you all. We were so close. 31 from 38. Tommy, give me a thumbs up. You selected 31 from 38. Now, the players that we missed, so the ones that we selected that didn't get in
Yeah.
were Finn Baxter, Finlay Bealham, Courtney Laws, Jack Willis, Ben White, and Freddie Stewart.
Yeah.
But the ones that did get selected that we had missed, Tommy, if you go through to that one, these are two different pages. Jack Conan, Scott Cummings, Xander Fagerson, Ronan Kelleher, Joe McCarthy, Ty Furlong,
Yeah.
Thomas Williams, and Mack Hansen. Did you want to run through the rest of
so
them?
Mack
Drew?
Hansen we had in, but we we're led to believe that his injury was more severe than it actually is. So we could probably be, give him a pass mark for that one. Joe McCarthy we also had in at one point, but then swapped him out late for Hugo Keenan. Also because we're only going on 37, not the 38 that were actually announced. There were a couple of obvious misses. Xander Fagerson and Ty Furlong were probably, some that we probably should have considered at least. And there's also, mate, if I'm being honest, probably a couple in there I haven't even heard of.
No, that's a good sign for us, actually, for the Wallabies. But there's do we want to run through it here again, Swoop? Do you want to read that one out?
No, mate, we don't need to. It's right there on
Jack
the page.
Jack Conan, the 8 for Ireland. Scott Cummins, I hadn't heard of him. I thought it was the Honey Badger's younger brother. And then Ronan Kelleher. I'm not sure. I haven't heard too much of him. I'm sure he's a great player, and he's going to be great on the pod later. But yeah,
he's a Lion. Gits.
Yeah, there are a lot of those videos floating around. You're filming the guy, their reaction if they made it. They're great. All those videos are superb. What I want to know, or what I'd like to see, is those guys that potentially were going to get picked, and they didn't. I'm sure they got filmed as well.
Oh yeah.
Can we get an opportunity to have a look at those as well?
Yeah. So all those ones that were probably like the ones that we were probably anticipating getting picked, there would have been a camera on them.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Like, do you think over at Racing in France? Yeah, like over in Racing in France, there was one on Owen Farrell.
Because they go off alphabetical, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know when they've gone past you.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's heartbreaking. Those videos would exist. If you're watching the show and you've got one, send it in. At Kickoffs and Kick-Ons. I would love to see it. What do you think of the squad? How much are we going to flog them by? Will it be closer than we thought?
Oh, look, it's a solid squad. I don't think there's too many surprises. Look, they'll have a solid 23 out of that come test day. The other thing as well is, look, that squad that's been announced probably won't be the squad that get on the plane because there's a fair bit of footy to be played out beforehand, and there's the way that the nature of the game is, there's going to be injuries. So there'll still be guys knowing that they're on the fringes. I believe also Andy Farrell has left 2 spots available for players to play themselves into form, perhaps on the cusp, and also maybe just to wait to see if there are injuries and what type of positions they need to fill there. So, and likewise for probably the Wallabies as well. Unfortunately, we might pick up a couple of injuries in the next few weeks as well. So hopefully not, but I think overall we picked the captain, Maro Itoje. Strong squad, but I think it's definitely a team that we could beat.
Terrific. I love hearing that. Is that a part of that?
And I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but I just think if you look at it 12 months ago, if the squad they've just picked there, and the squad that we will pick moving forward, I think it's going to be a really competitive series.
I heard a little chat, the coach, Farrell, and he was saying it will maintain some of the elements of the old school tours. Ooh. So,
well, he's a leaguey at heart.
Yeah, which I was glad to hear that.
I think that's very important because I don't think it's a matter of you can't question the talent, the rock star. There's some elite world-class players in this team, right, particularly on form throughout the autumn series, the domestic competitions. They'll come over and perform, but I think it's just a matter of it's a question of cohesion, I think. It's how quickly they can put together a team of rock stars and make them gel and come together and perform well as a team. So if they can achieve that in the weeks leading up, it's going to be a very competitive series. But yeah, who knows? That's on Andy.
Yeah. Speaking of rock stars, Swoop, one joins us right now. Sione Tuipulotu. Welcome and congratulations, Sione. Big round of applause, everybody. You have officially signed with the Melbourne Storm. That is big news. Andy Farrell's going to be shattered, but that's fine. No, congrats, mate. You must be on cloud 9.
Oh, nah, mate. Since Thursday, it's been such a good feeling. And it was actually good just to get it over and done with, whether it was going to be good news or bad news, because the couple of weeks leading up to it, it's all you can think about. So, mate, I'm absolutely stoked.
Yeah, I mean, Gits sort of just mentioned before he came on, some of the footage capturing the moment that you guys, that once you're announced, finding out that you're going to be a Lion, and it was all very special. Just can you talk us through that? You're obviously there with your teammates and pretty special moment.
Yeah, so at our club, anyways, they had set up like a big, like pretty much the whole club was up on the club deck. And to be honest, I was actually thinking of going home because I didn't think I could face it if it was going to be bad news. It's a tough feel. You want to be happy. You're obviously happy for your mates if you if they make it. But I just the uncomfortable feeling it would have been for me if your name doesn't get read out. But I'm so happy that I stayed and all the boys that were in contention stayed at the club because yeah, like you say, it was and all the footage that gets captured is like it's kind of real, because everyone's gathered around and all those emotions and reactions are real because it's probably the last thing you're thinking about when the camera's around in that moment. I can't tell you how nervous I was as well when they started because they told us that the names were going to get started getting read out at around 2, but they had this whole build up to it for like half an hour. So like we were sitting in the meeting room for like 30 minutes before the names started getting read out, and I was the third last name to get read out. So it was a long wait.
Gits, you were talking about the flip side of the people that film the celebration ones. Did you want to ask Sione about that?
Well, yeah. So obviously we see all the good stuff, and you said there were a couple of teammates obviously that were in contention. Did anyone miss out, or do you know of footage that was taken of people that did miss out, and whether we can get access to that?
Look, mate, I wouldn't chase it down. But oh no, the camera footage was there all day, so I'm assuming you're absolutely right, mate. And not to mention that, but like there would have been a few people that were filming themselves at home. It's I suppose that's the crazy thing about the Lions is just that no one knows, like if you're even in the picture, and you've just got to watch and learn your fate. But hopefully, luckily this time around I was on the good side of it, and I got to have that, feeling with all the lads around me, like celebrating your name getting read out. It was pretty special, man.
I was saying to the boys that I heard a chat with Andy Farrell, Sione, and he was saying that this tour of Australia will definitely have elements of the old school Lions tour. Are you a person that's excited about that?
I'm on board, mate. I'm on board for that. I suppose that's why Mack's going,
Yeah. Front and center, old Mack. Mate, just a quick one. I understand now that you're part of that squad, you'll have access to tickets. Do you mind giving us some tickets to come watch you boys play?
Mack can sort you out, mate.
Yeah. Look, I know that family probably come first, but, it'd be nice.
Oh, mate, I think they've sent out the ticket returns there, and I'm pretty sure you're only getting like 2 or something a game because of how hard the tickets are going to be to get. But I'm not even too sure how it works as well, because obviously you've got to make the test team first, and then like if you got like 10 tickets anyways for your family, if you're buying these tickets, and then you end up not playing. So
mate, the games are sold out, and luckily I went and bought 4 on each test. So if you need some, above market price, obviously, but you can come and see me.
Hey, Sione, last time we spoke, you said there was kind of limited communication interaction with any of the coaching staff of the British or Irish Lions. Now that you've been announced in the squad, have you fielded a call from Andy or any of the coaching staff?
To be honest, I've had a couple messages just from like a couple of the assistant coaches, but mostly just congratulations. And I think we've got to catch up on Sunday after this, this weekend on Sunday, and I think we're all gathering in London to meet there. So I haven't spoken to Andy yet personally, or to be honest, even been on the bell with any of the coaches. But I think we're going to meet on Sunday to do that. But just messages of congratulations from a couple of the coaches.
Mate, you seem like you're pretty on board with anything that goes in terms of getting around it and just buying in. I read somewhere, I don't know where I read it, but I read somewhere that Maro Toje is making everyone wear a pearl earring. Are you going to get on board with that?
Well, look, mate, I won't. I've got a little earring in, but I'm not too sure if I can pull off the pearls. Those things were hanging down to his shoulders.
Pretty amazing. I heard Maro was saying he's already been to a captain's dinner. So he went and sat with Brian O'Driscoll, Hastings, and Martin Johnson, and He hasn't captained yet, but he went and sat with them, and they all told him stories of the past tours, and he said it was an amazing night and had a good laugh.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's one of the amazing things of this announcement is normally when there's a squad announcement, there's always a leaked version of the squad, and everyone kind of knows who's in it beforehand. Whereas the only position essentially we knew 24 hours beforehand was the captain, because they go to this dinner and he is papped going in and out of this dinner, so they kind of knew that he was going to be the captain. But I just thought it was really well done by the Lions to really keep it internal. And so that those moments for guys like Sione are really special because you just don't know.
I heard that Andy had only, I think it was 3 o'clock the day before that he'd actually locked it in. As in he got his final 38 less than 24 hours before the announcement. So it'd be pretty amazing if it did leak. Because I guess he's the only bloke that leaked it, right? If it's just written on a notepad. What do you reckon will happen on Sunday, Sione? Will it be pretty tame? Or do you think that 38 blokes that have just been announced in the Lions will genuinely rip in?
I'm not too sure about that, mate, because I think that weekend will be the Champions Cup final. So I'm not too sure if those boys will be there on Sunday before the big week. But like I said, if that's his plan, I'm on board. But yeah, who knows what's happening on that Sunday? I'm actually pretty nervous for it. You know what I mean? You got to meet so many different boys and lads that you've played against as well, like high level footy, and that have. But it should be good.
Gits, you're very quiet. Are you still upset about Sione's story last week about getting hit in the head?
No, that was phenomenal. It actually gave me brownie points. Boys thought I was pretty tough. It's just hard with the delay. You know, both of us dialing in, so I'm kind of just letting it flow. I just love listening to him, mate.
Have you got a question for him?
Yeah, like, who are you most nervous about meeting? Like, who did you hate playing that's in that line squad?
Ooh. Geez. I don't know if I've hated playing anyone, but, you know, you play these big games against, I don't know, Ireland or England, and like I said, mate, like things get said on the field and stuff like that. But I suppose, and we haven't had much of a chance to. But that's a special thing about the Lions, you know. It's just like 4 teams coming together, and you got to learn quickly, or I suppose get on the same page pretty quickly, to learn to play with each other. So I suppose that's the exciting part. But it is just, you know, a little bit strange or weird. But I'm looking forward to it as well, you know.
Mate, obviously it's going to be a bit of a tough ask. Like, it's going to be a competitive series, but I'd be nervous just about going to training when you're head-to-head, that your competition that you're going up against for the test team is Bundee Aki. You guys are going to have to lock horns a little bit in training and in the lead up to it. Are you excited about that?
Oh, man, I watched my brother actually played him on the weekend, and geez, mate, they were belting each other for a good while there. But yeah, it's going to be poly on poly crime, isn't it? When training. Yeah, well, that's I'm looking forward to it, bro. It's, to go there and competing with, obviously, he's done it all, you know. So I'm looking forward to getting to training and competing.
Hey, Sione, we're about to get Mack to jump on here. We thought, as a part of the KOKO Show, we could introduce you to one of your teammates. So if you're too nervous to ask him any questions, let us know. What's he like playing against Mack? Is he lippy? Does he never shut up?
To be honest, mate, my memories of him is just like he's annoying to play against because I'm just running around trying to get him and I can't. And the way he plays as well is like frustrating because he's just coming off his wings and like ball playing almost and putting others away. And I was stoked for him, man, when I heard his name get read out, because he's probably got the same feeling as me. He's like gets a chance to go back to Australia, you know, for this Lion series. So yeah.
Well, that's part of it as well, right? There's going to be quite a lot of focus on you two in particular, given that you used to play here in Australia and you're Australians, you know, and now you're representing the Lions against Australia. So you would imagine there's going to be a fair bit of media focus towards you guys. Is that something you've kind of, you know, you've thought about?
I don't think I've thought about it, but yeah, like if that comes with it, then I kind of got a little bit of a taste with that, you know, when we're obviously it's going to be completely different and bigger. But during the autumn when we played Australia and I was skippering and stuff like that, I kind of felt like that was a little bit of a different week as well, with the media and stuff like that. So no, I understand I'm actually kind of excited for that. It'll be good, man.
So let's talk about the finer things in life. Let's talk about the celebrations. Any celebrations over the weekend? What post-announcement?
Well, yeah. So we had heaps of media at the club, and that didn't finish up till like 5:36. But I'd planned for my missus had planned that she was going to make me dinner. But then when we got the good news, I told her I'd take her out for dinner, and we went and got a steak together, and it was actually really nice, mate. And my son actually fell asleep for the whole dinner and let us have a nice romantic moment. So it was good, mate.
How much was the steak?
She paid.
Nice.
And
That's
what'd you have the steak with?
I went big, to be fair. What did I have? I had with mac and cheese, mashed potato, double carb, big training day. Probably like 4 Coke Zeros. I fueled up.
Surely some Fritz.
More mashed potato, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm down for that. Maybe you can
Wow.
buy her dinner at the end of it because you're getting about £100,000, I'm told.
Really?
For your tour.
Far out. Hey, Sione, when you get sent the letter, I'm dying to see this letter that the Lions get. Can you let us know?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, who signs it? Do we know?
I'd say maybe the team manager. Is it Ewan? Yeah, the guy that announced it, I would imagine.
It says, "Dear Sione, congrats,
Yeah,
mate. You're a Lion."
basically.
Pack
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
bags?
I've seen the ones. I've seen the boys from past tours when they've like taken photos of theirs. It looks pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, it'd be something you'd frame for sure.
Yeah, right. Or you'd flog it if we're on hard
Oh,
times.
maybe you send it into us and we frame it and put it on our.
We'll
our
put it on the
website.
set, Sione, if you'd like. Let's ask you just quickly, this jersey, this abomination, this Melbourne Storm jersey you're wearing, what's the go there?
That's in the old days, like Rodney Howe and those boys.
Yeah, that's
Marcus
Kearney.
Sy.
Is that no?
Is that 99?
Yeah, mate. This is a retro. This one. But obviously from Melbourne, been a Storm fan for as long as I can remember. But it was actually funny. I made sure Craig Bellamy actually came. They've got a relationship with the Scottish coaches, and they came for the autumn series. And I made sure I asked Gregor what days he was going to be in, and I wore it every day he was there. Scary dude though. He didn't even smile at me once. It was strange.
Just chasing a contract, wearing the jersey. Here he is.
Yeah. Mac, I know I do this every time. Are you able to flip your phone so it's landscape, please? Sorry, Mac.
Oh,
There we
you
go.
got to
Got it on
unlock it as well, bro.
Unlock.
There's
All
a
these
whole
boys with their locked phones.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How do you watch porn?
I go through times when I'm on it and then times when I need a break.
You probably
I'm
put
currently on a break.
it on the projector on the wall or something, do you?
I actually got a good imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, I'd say there's probably a bit in the memory bank there for old Mac the Lion.
All right, hey, let's do this really
Yeah.
quickly. Sione, meet Mac. Mac, meet Sione. You guys are now teammates. Do you want to catch up or say good day?
Hey, mate. Good to see you.
Matt, how are you, brother?
Oh, if I knew doing NRL jerseys, would have worn my Tigers one.
Oh, Storm just got beaten by the Tigers. 64
I
block.
actually won't be doing.
That's a real shame.
Oh, he's gone.
Mac's gone. The Tigers shut him off. Yeah,
Oh,
there
he's
he
back.
is.
He's back.
Mac,
Back.
first and foremost, congratulations to both of you. We've now got 2 Lions on the show. This is
Wow.
epic. Congrats, mate. Well done. How you feeling?
Was that for me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mac. We've done.
Yeah, no, good. Still in a bit of shock over it, to be honest. Yeah, I couldn't believe when my name got called. Just started bawling, crying, so then got on the phone to mum and dad straight away. So very excited for us, and yeah, sort of just starting to sink in a little bit now.
Just talk us through that moment where you found out that you were going to be a Lion, because some of the teams or some of the players were in their team environments. It looked like you were maybe out and about. Like, how did you tune into it?
Yeah, I was just watching it on the beach. It was actually a sunny day in Galway, and the lads were watching it in here, but I just couldn't. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not, so it would have been too awkward to be sitting there then you get those awkward pat on the backs, like, oh, unlucky and stuff. So I just went and watched it on my own, and it ended up being nice. Ended up being a good experience.
Now, just so we can let Sione go, because he's just done the last 15 minutes with us, and he's probably pretty bored by now. There's going to be guys in this tour that have never been to Australia. So what sort of lies are you going to tell them about what happens down here? Have you already started the lies?
Yeah, the classic one is the kangaroo to the school one.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple of the Scottish boys with that early days. But yeah, I'll probably stick with that, to be honest.
Mac?
I haven't actually put too much thought into it yet. I'll
Maybe
come up with a good one.
drop bears.
Maybe,
Talk up.
yeah, I was going to say the drop bears. That is exactly what I was going to say. And then as soon as they drop on you, you get chlamydia straight away.
Yeah,
if you haven't already got it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Boys, do you want to say anything else before we let Sione go? Do you want to...
I think you guys are catching up on Sunday, aren't you?
Yep.
Can I? The chemistry between you two is electric. Can I just say that I hope you're both on the same wing. Anyway, go Melbourne Storm. Thanks, Sione. Congratulations.
Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers.
See you later.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Mac, first and foremost, after we've let Sione go, I want to congratulate you on your car safety. I mean, you were well and truly in a car park, but you've still got that seatbelt on. That is...
I actually didn't even realise, yeah. Might chuck that off. Thank you, mate. There we go.
Mate,
I just had to I got here and I was straight on, so...
I like it. I like the
don't think
commitment.
my mind-
Tell us,
Yeah.
I mean, Adam just asked Sione, like, how did you celebrate over the weekend? You said you were a little bit nervous about it, maybe didn't want to have those awkward moments in the event that your name wasn't called out, but once you found out that you were going to be a Lion, how did you celebrate over the weekend?
Believe it or not, I actually didn't celebrate too much. We had a game here on Saturday, so had a couple beers with a couple fellas after the game, but that was about it. I'm just coming back from my ankle at the moment, so I'm trying to behave until that's sort of 100%, and then I'll celebrate properly, I'd say, on tour.
Yeah, I want to talk about, with the locked-in Lions, we locked them in, and we locked you in real early because we just knew you're an amazing player, good-looking fella, just good for the group as well. But then we get the news that we're out and you're no chance. Who was the dickhead that made that up? Because you texted me straight after saying, mate, I'm still a chance. I'm only 1 week away.
Yeah, I don't know, because I got into my I got into the media team here as well, because I just woke up and it was all these things saying I'm out for 5 weeks, and yeah, my tour hopes are gone, like Lions and Ireland. So I have no idea, but there's a weird thing around Connacht at the moment where news seems to get out to this one fella, and his Twitter account is normally right. So I don't know who's feeding him all this stuff, but I'd say he's the one that's leaked it, in fairness to him.
We need to shake him down, this fella.
Yeah, name him and shame him, Mac. We'll find him.
And also his address.
No, he knows who he is, and a lot of people know who he is as well. In fairness, I'll drop his name after.
If anyone who knows who he is watches this show, put him in the comments, and then everyone else, they got him.
Terrific. Now, we saw your announcement. It was one of the better, I guess, because it was live, right? They rang you while they were doing, did we all see this on the weekend? While they were doing the announcement. And they said, oh, well, we're going to give Mac a call. And Andy Farrell went, oh, do we have to? Did you know he did that before you came on?
No, I didn't. I actually, when I hurt my ankle a couple of weeks ago, I actually was hammered drunk and I tried calling him. So I'd say he was probably a bit wary of that. Hoping I wasn't drinking this time. So I got told afterwards that yeah, he was a bit hesitant to get me on.
Mate, but how good was that investment, a couple of years ago when you got his face tattooed on your leg? Like, fucking paying dividends now.
Yeah, single-handedly got me on tour, I'd say.
We'd obviously ask you to show us that tattoo now, but you have a history of not wearing pants on our show. What's below the waist today? Can you show us?
No, I got pants on today. I'm in a trainer today, so
okay.
I'm wearing these. Our shorts are quite loose as well, so you can really see everything. So
so nothing under the shorts.
No, I got it.
What are you most excited about? What are you most excited about with this Lions? Like, is it, obviously coming to Australia or getting to meet the guys, or is there anything you're nervous about, excited? Like, what are you looking forward to? And what are you not looking forward to?
Yeah, I'm excited to get into camp and meet everyone and I guess kind of make new mates. It should be good. Like I actually remember the last time the Lions were here. When they finished their tour, they were drinking at the Stain, and I remember a good few of them coming down. I got to end up getting a photo with Manu Tuolangi, but I remember you could see up and you could look at them all up on the Stain at the end of the tour, and they just were having the best time ever. So I'm excited to make, I guess, memories like that with some new fellas and stuff like that, and to have it in Australia is obviously a massive plus.
Well, speaking of potential good memories down here and having a lot of fun, hopefully not too much fun because obviously the Wallabies will go 3-0. But in the last couple of weeks, we went through the locked-in lines and obviously we picked our captain, Mario Tajo, but we had to have you somewhere amongst that leadership group. So you got selected as tour captain. Now, as your first, I guess, commitment as tour captain, what are you thinking around where you can take the squad or a couple of the boys down here? Once you get down here, what would be the first on the agenda?
Yeah, so first stop's in Perth. I can't remember the exact name of the bar. There's a bar right on the beach overlooking what's the main beach there?
Cottesloe.
Cottesloe, yeah. That would probably be first on the agenda, I'd say.
Yeah,
Kick it off well.
Cod Hotel,
staring out the water.
Is it the OBH? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not sure. We went there once with Canberra Vikings, actually, believe it or not, and it was unreal. Bit of live music, sun was shining. Wait and see. Well, that'd probably be first agenda, I'd say, finding the good spots to go to anyway.
Yeah, well, look, if you need anyone to help you in your tour captain capacity, then we'll put our hand up when you're here in Sydney. We'll just, help you and guide you and put your names on the front of the doors.
Oh, surely we'll get you into camp every now and then. You can show us around, Drew, for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be a plus.
Oh, mate, like
a massive plus.
Look, I'll do anything for a bit of cash, so I'll jump ship pretty quickly. Go on,
Lions! Andy Farrell spoke of the importance of not just being good players, but good blokes on tour. And I think he chatted to a few of the coaches of teams where he didn't particularly know the players. Now, in the event that, obviously he coached you, but if he went and asked a coach that wasn't him, what would they say about how you are on tour? Are you a fun time guy? Are you a shoulder to cry on? Are you a bit of everything?
I think I'm pretty fun. I guess I think that's what touring is all about, isn't it? Having fun. So my first tour with Brums, I'll never forget it, was Slips came up to me and was like, because I was 24th man, I was young, I wasn't going to be playing. And he goes, your job is to go out, have fun, tell some stories for us on the bus. And we kind of lived through you. So I was like, all right, brilliant, I'll do that. So I think we ended up being there for 8 days. I ended up going out about 7 nights out of the 8 days. And at the end of the tour, I'm telling all these stories and everything, and everyone's laughing. And then I remember Dan being like, sorry, mate, when did you fucking have time to do all this? And then that's when it clicked that I actually wasn't supposed to be going out all the time and drinking every day. I was actually there to play rugby. So that was my first sort of, I guess life into touring that Slips gave me, but it ended up being, the complete wrong one for an actual professional rugby player.
Well, it takes years and years to be able to create balance in your week. Ask Drew. But hey, are you coming down under as a single bloke, or what's happening there?
Yep. Single at the moment still.
Okay. So tour captain.
Just
tour captain, single.
Wow.
Oh, look, mate. Obviously there for the rugby first and foremost.
Of course.
So, Who knows? Who knows what will happen?
Are you on the apps?
No apps. No apps here. I'm actually banned from Hinge for life. Don't know how that's happened.
What got you banned?
What happened?
I reckon. So I got a couple messages from some people being like, "Oh, I think people are using your because it wasn't verified. People could being like, I think somebody's using your photos and stuff like that." So I reckon I just got reported a shitload because I'm actually I'm a terrible texter as it is. So got very little game on my phone. So I actually couldn't tell you why, but yeah, I'm banned. Literally, they sent me an email saying you are banned for life. Crazy stuff.
That's really sad. That could have been where you found love, Mac. That's That's really sad. Any pointers for is anybody else in the team single that could take Mack out? And is there anybody? Drew.
Yeah.
What about this for a little duo? Drew Mitchell and Mack Hansen post Lions on a Saturday night. You two.
Oh, the Mack DRUA.
Look out.
I'd run off the tight hips of Mack Hansen. That's what I'd do.
I think
I've seen Drew in action, and it's an exciting thing to think about, in fairness.
If all else fails, you just go home together at the end of the night and tell rugby
what you're trying
stories.
to paint, what sort of picture you're trying to paint. He's a professional player. I'm just a fucking good guy. What are you trying to do to us, Prof?
Nothing. I'm saying if you're a young lady out there and you've always wanted to meet Mack Hansen or Drew Mitchell, the Lions Tour is the place to do it. Gents, we have taken up a lot of Mack's time here. Has anybody got anything else for him?
No, I just think, mate, honestly, congratulations. I know that you went over to Ireland, to go continue your journey over there, and you played for Ireland, but now to just achieve this, I think it's, massive tip of the hat, and mate, I hope it goes really well for you. Get that ankle right, and we'll see you in that test day 15.
Cheers, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me again, lads. Always a pleasure.
And hopefully we get you in studio when you're down here, actually. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be good crack.
Yeah.
Definitely saw that out.
Is in studio like a code word for you and Mack?
in
Oh, you mean in here in
Yeah,
studio?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
terrific. Yeah, that'll be great. Fantastic. Well done. Good luck, Mack. We'll see you later. Thanks, mate.
See you, lads.
There you go, Mack Hansen.
He's a great fella.
Oh, he's a great fella. What about the access we've got to? They're going to be the two hottest properties when they come down here for the Lions Tour.
Yeah.
KOKO Show got them.
It's not a competition, Prof.
It is. We're winning.
Yeah. But we're sorry about that.
Yeah, we're not winning like income, but we're winning.
Just life, mate.
Outcomes.
Remember? Things are great, mate. Things are great. Life is good.
Now, gents, we're going to start our Australian tour. Sorry, our Australian team.
Yeah.
And I've coined it as the Lion Tamers.
Ooh, see what you did there.
Yep. I saw it.
Do you like that?
I like it.
So our Wallabies are the Lion Tamers. Gits, we're each going to just lock in one to begin with, same as what we did with the locked in Lions. Now, you want to do it a slightly different way, Drew?
Well, I feel like we got a little bit mixed up throughout the course of the locked in lines. So maybe we just go through positions, lock in all of our props first, then hookers, then locks, so on and so forth. So let's get through our props today.
You happy to do that, Gits?
I am always happy if Drew's happy.
Okay.
And mate, Drew's fucking happy.
He is very happy lately. It's fantastic. Tommy is going to bring the sign in here. Do you mind if I go first, just so I can?
Sure, mate.
Because it's, because I can think of three, basically. Angus Bell, I'm going to say. Surely the first prop picked.
Yeah.
Belly.
Congratulations, Belly.
Well done.
Nice work, Belly.
Good, you want to go?
Yep, I'll throw in the try scoring machine, Alan Alatoa. I think he'll be the other one there.
Drew.
Good. Swoop.
The third Lion Tamer selected, James Slipper.
Yeah, like a bit of experience up front. Doing some good things down there in Brumby land, Goit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the doctor from the West, Tom Robertson.
Yeah. Great cauliflower
He's
ears.
punching out a lot of minutes.
Yeah, he is.
He's a 70 top.
So they're our first 4 Lion Tamers.
They are. Now, an obvious omission there.
There's still more props to come.
Oh, is there? How many props are you picking?
I think we get 6 or so.
6 props. Okay.
Yeah.
Terrific. Congratulations to those 4 gents. The Lion Tamers will be naming our full squad over the next few weeks and then obviously sending it on to Joe. He'll thank us and then he'll pick them. Gents, it is time now for the Rugby Round Up segment. The Superb Rugby, another weekend of big results. Not long to go. I think there's only 3 rounds left after this weekend. Give me your takeaways. Let's start with you, Gits.
So my takeaway, it's more, well, it is definitely on Super Rugby, but more on Taniela Tupou. He came out recently, obviously saying that he wouldn't pick himself. He feels, I don't know, it's just the tone, the way that I read a lot of his comments, it seemed like it's not just even rugby related. It's obviously affecting him a little bit deeper than that. So mine's more just around supporting him, getting him back to being, the best version of himself. And hopefully he'll be one of those, locked in the Lion Tamers that we're looking for. But yeah, just obviously he's down in form, but it just seems like, I don't know, just maybe it could have been the way I read the article, but I just hope that he's doing super well and he gets back to, enjoying his rugby, because I don't think he is enjoying it at the moment.
Yeah, mate, I completely agree. I read that same article, and he's really down on himself. He's quite hard on himself, and and he also starts to question himself a lot, and whether he even knows how to play the game, all that sort of stuff. And to me, that's also, it highlights a bigger issue, and it's a difficult part of what is the professional game, not just rugby. It's in all sports, I would imagine, but it's the mental side of the game, and I just think for so long we put so much focus on the physical side and getting prepared physically, but not mentally. Like, not how you overcome setbacks or lack of confidence, or even in the game, if you make an error, how do you then move on from that and not take it into your next action, all that sort of stuff. So to me, I think, there's always support there in and around the club, but I don't know if it's necessarily as thorough as it needs to be. And that's not a slight on any club. I just think it's the progress that needs to happen in the mental side of the game. And, I spoke about it at the top of the show. Like, I've, since I retired, I started seeing therapists, and I'm even doing this sort of program now for 17 weeks. And I just wish I had have done all this sort of stuff when I was playing, because, whether it's something outside of footy, you take it into the game. It's there. It's a distraction. Whether it's form or whether it's coming back from injury, or there's just times where you question yourself and you don't necessarily have the tools to know how to get out of that. But I think there's a big space in our game and in professional sport as a whole for athletes to kind of upskill themselves in those areas. And I just think that's where Taniela is. We know that he's a great player. We know that he's probably not at the peak of his powers at the moment, but it just almost seems like he just needs an arm around him and someone to enable him and to upskill him in those areas, because it's not that, like, he's aware of it. He's aware that he's not playing to the peak of his powers, but how do you then get from that to getting back to your best? And that's, there are things that you need to have and skill sets to be able to get yourself out of that position. But, you saw him score a try on the weekend, and the whole team just got around him. Like, you can see that there's a weight on his shoulders, and then his teammates are aware of it, but they all just got around him. I thought that was, it was a great moment. But, and I saw some comments from Lukan Salakaia-Loto getting around him as well, just saying that, for the Wallabies to do well, they need him at the peak of his powers. So it's not about Taniela having to do, lift more or all that sort of stuff. Like, to me, for him, it's up there in the mental side of things, and it's about trying to help this guy get the tools needed to help in that area. I mean, I don't know if you guys have the same sort of opinion on that, but
yeah, I think we all go through it at some stage throughout our career. I think that he's experienced a lot of change over the last couple of years. He's gone from the Reds to the Melbourne Rebels and now to the Tars. I think it might just be a case of, not feeling comfortable, not feeling settled with his feet on the ground. And obviously he's going through a bit of a patch of performance, but obviously he knows what to do. So, I mean, hopefully he gets his support around him. He asks himself the right questions. He gets an external voice, asks the right questions to the people around him, and he finds a way to kind of get back into form.
Yeah. No, I just think it's like one of those things, like you just mentioned there, we all go through it. But yeah, we all do go through it, and sometimes we're left to our own devices to get ourselves out of it. But I just think there's a way to accelerate that by getting the right tools and, being given and being armed with the right tools to be able to accelerate that process.
Absolutely. His Waratahs went down 28-21 on the weekend.
Yeah.
Obviously, a couple of big moments in that game. Joseph Suaalii, knocked out by Kellaway's knee.
Yeah, a bit of friendly fire there. So we haven't heard necessarily how severe it is, or whether it's just concussion or if it's something else. But hopefully, it's nothing too severe for Joseph, because he's going to be integral moving into he'll be a Lion Tamer by the time we get to his position.
100%.
It'd be interesting to see whether we pick him as a centre or as an outside back. But I also thought the Reds were really good. That final play from Filippo Dungunu, he's just come back into the squad. Into the team after injury. He was strong. Like, he's a problem, right? Like, he's genuinely both. Well, actually, not just both. Attack, defence, but also at the breakdown and the turnover. But now he's just decision-making, his eyes up sort of footy, to just put that on his right foot for Anderson out in the right wing, identify the space, execute the kick. He's in some form. I mean, he's only, like I said, come back from injury, but he's been in some great form this year. I think he's definitely going to be a tough one to leave out of the squad. On
the wing or 13?
Well, I mean, 13, 15. Well, 13, I think, I would say Suaalii, but he's good cover, right?
Well,
yeah. Well, we were having this discussion, remember, the mid-series, June series last year, when he moved from centre to wing. They selected him on the wing in the Wallaby squad.
Yeah.
But he was absolutely nailing all his roles as a winger.
Yeah.
High balls, positional work, defence. So, I mean, he's He's going from strength to strength each season.
Very good player. Have you got one for me, Drew? A takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Blues were impressive against DRUA. That was a bit of a smash up, especially when the DRUA were fighting for a position in the finals as well. Like
34-5.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the Blues. Geez, like there are a lot of teams sort of starting to play their way into finals footy, and it's important to have momentum going into the finals as well. It's one thing being there, but it's another thing having momentum going into those positions. So I thought the Blues looked pretty tidy.
I think they were very tight. Like the forward pack was a very, I guess, forward dominated game. Tuipulotu, Papali'i, Situtu, like they were very, very strong and kind of led from the front, carried well. Bowden Barrett just kind of steered the ship, but yeah, I thought the forwards of the Blues were really strong. It was interesting to see that like the DRUA kind of didn't put up much of a fight and they allowed 35 points in.
Yeah, well, I mean, you said it was all up front in the forwards. 3 props scored, eh?
Yeah.
They sit in 5th now, the Blues. They're kind of peaking at the right point of the season. From
where they were at the beginning, right? Last year's premiers to then almost thinking they weren't even going to make it or not even go close, but now they're... Jeez.
They're hitting some form at the right time this season.
You got one for me, Swoop?
In terms of... Takeaways?
Hot takeaway.
I think the Brumbies and the Reds are looking really good for the finals. Like we've got 3 games to go and they're hitting some, peak form at the right time. Like we're at the pointy end. Very impressed by the Brumbies' efforts over in Perth on the weekend. I thought that was a pretty strong pretty strong kind of performance, and like that outfit it seems like they're kind of becoming closer and closer each game.
Well, and also I thought it was really good that Meredith coming on for Noah. Noah got injured early, so hopefully, I mean, we saw today it was reported that it was nothing serious. He'd been clear of any serious injury, but not sure if he's going to be out for a week or 2 or whatever. But for him to come on pretty early stage of that game and still go on with it for the Brumbies was great. But Gits, I'm interested to hear the Western Force celebrated a 20-year anniversary. From everything from the first year to now. And there was a lot of former players, a lot of staff members, everyone celebrated on the field beforehand. I believe they all went for a pretty big night before the game. But were you invited? Because I wasn't.
Yeah, I was going to ask you whether you got an invite, because I did. And yeah, I did. But I think you would have had to pay for your... I don't know, flights over or something. I remember Hodjo reaching out, but I couldn't do it.
So it's him. I can say, fuck off, Hodjo.
Yeah. So you can have a crack at him. But I did send a message to them because they said, it's a 20-year anniversary this weekend. I'd not looked at the draw. And I said, go out there. Hope you have a huge win at home. And then I've seen they're playing the Brumbies and I'm going, fuck.
Well, what would you have said otherwise?
I would have just said, look, 20 years you're around. It was a great 3 years that I spent there. Hopefully no one gets injured this weekend. Go KB, go Dono, go Carlo, all the friends of the pod. But I'm there for the Brums. But I was actually part of that first game. I played in that game. Swoop, did you play that very first game, 2006 there?
Yes, one of the games I can't recall actually that well. But yes, I did.
Yeah.
Why is that? Did you lose? Did the Brums lose?
No, I thought he was kind of having a bit of a dig. I think at one of the times he was playing for the Force.
No, it wasn't because
he was with the Brums.
Sterlo was 13. Sterlo was 13. I was 12, and I wasn't sure.
06?
Yeah.
We ran that kind of, I don't know, it was like an OI, but hit the short, I don't know.
What's an OI?
Yeah.
Outside in. So when
it's like a blocker play. So it's like you. So for me, I was 12, and I split first, went wide. Then Sterlo came from wider into short next to Bernie. Bernie passed to him, and it looked like we just run a shit play, that the timing was well off. And then Sterlo's done like a little bit of a dance. And because he was a big fella, people would always jam on him. And there was a little bit of action at the back. So I would go wide. Then I cut back really late and ran a short ball. And I think Swoop was out the back or a blind winner was out the back. That's right. Sterlo just played me short. I scored, got up, gave one of my good mates, Matty Hanjack, a gobful, and then we moved on.
You remember that?
I do. Yeah, that's right.
Jeez, that's not a bad back line, is it?
Yeah. What did we used to call that? It used to be blocker. And what was the opposite of a blocker? Drifter or something like that? What was the...
Slider.
Was it a slider to short?
Yeah,
how many
slider short.
How many years were you at the Force, Drew?
3 as well. Same years as Gits.
What's happened there? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who I've upset. List is probably pretty long.
That's true. Yeah. It's probably easier to do the other list. Right. There you go. My takeaway is hopefully the Brumbies can stay in those top 2 positions. Currently sitting in second. Hopefully the Chiefs can lose in the finals, and then we get a final in Canberra. Hopefully it's like -4 degrees. Everybody has a good time.
It'll probably still get moved to Allianz or something.
Oh, geez. They've got a big chip, don't they?
Mate,
We're just a bit of fun.
At least some
I'm
people
over
might
it.
turn up if it's at Allianz.
have they fixed the Wi-Fi yet, Bruce?
Always. You've been out there. I've got another takeaway, if that's all right.
Go
Prof.
for it.
It's just around these injuries. Obviously, we're hoping that Suaalii is okay, Noah as well. But now that we're getting to the back end of this Super Rugby season, like we need our best players. We want our best players playing to be competitive for this Lion series. So it's just, like even you look at Will Jordan as well. I saw him go down on the weekend with a bad knee. Like it looks like his knee was pretty buckled. Like he couldn't move. They replaced him quickly. If he's out, that's a massive loss for the Crusaders. But I was thinking more from a selfish Australian point of view. I would just love to see the rest of this competition. Obviously, we go well. An Australian team will win it, is what I hope. But I just hope that we can keep our players healthy.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the risk, right? Like we're seeing it with some of the potential Lions players and some of the guys that missed the selection because of injury. And I'm sure, again, like I said earlier, like nature of the game, there's probably going to be a couple of those guys that were named and won't make the flight, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I guess we're just hoping that there's no players from the Wallabies do that, let alone the key ones. But I just don't think there's anything you can do around it, right? Because like you said, you want them playing. They've got to be in form. They've got to be match hardened. So you can't sort of rotate and rest them out. But at the same time, it's also one of those things you kind of can't go into anything half cocked. You've got to go like fully, because I think that's probably when you're more sort of inclined to get injured. If you've got that in the back of your mind, you've just got to go for it and hope that everything's stable and strong and everything's good.
Well, even these tour matches where they play the Reds, so the super clubs, the Anzac team, the Pacific Island and the Indigenous team. So Joe Schmidt has said that he will be encouraging the Wallabies players to play in those. So what happens if that last game, Reds versus, the Lions, all of a sudden Fraser McWright pops in?
I don't think it'll be the starting 15. I don't
it'll
think
be the ones on the outside?
The ones on the outside that probably holding the bags a little bit more. They'll be encouraged to go and play. It also depends on what club they come from. If they did make the finals, they went deep, and so it's been 6 weeks since they played, or if it's been 2 weeks, or whatever it might be. So I think it's just going to be a management thing from Joe Schmidt and the coaching staff. But look, there's always risk. Like you kind of know that going into it, and you just hope that it doesn't happen. But you also want to go into those test matches having played footy. So it's a balancing act, right?
Yeah. Definitely a balancing act. Wallaroos, they took on the Black Ferns. New Zealand, they won 38-12. That was in Newcastle. Any takeaways there, Drew?
Yeah, I thought it was a dominant first half from the Black Ferns. I thought they were pretty sharp. I thought the second half, though, our girls really fought back and they get a lot of confidence from that second half. But I just think the quality of this Black Ferns side, it was their first game. We obviously beat Fiji the week before, but the Black Ferns, they're just a sharp outfit. They've got a lot of talent. There's a young teenager at fullback that we're going to see we're going to see her for a very long time. Their back three are fantastic. Yes, really good. I mean, their first try from Aisha Letianga, I thought was great. Throughout the Super W or Picky, she's one of the highlight reels over there. So they've just got class across the field. But I mean, a great improvement for our girls since the last time we played. I think it was like 63 zip or something. So look, they're building. They've got the Pac-4 now, but they've got the World Cup later in London.
And it'll be a much more improved performance next outing too, because as you could see through the game, well, they kind of let them through that kind of just around the ruck. So once they kind of tidy up that defensive system, particularly around pillar and post, I think they'll be much better for it. There was a couple of controversial calls too. Georgina Fredericks being awarded that try. Some would say, she grounded that. The Black Ferns being awarded a try when there was potential kind of separation of the ball, the hand. But
I mean, I think the biggest area, though, is the contact zone. Like, they were getting advantage line too easily, the Black Ferns. So we've just got to muscle up there a bit more and then slow their ball down, and which will put us under a lot less pressure.
Positive signs. The Wallaroos, they play the USA in Canberra this Saturday at 5 p.m. Alona Ma might be in the USA team. Will you be there, Gits?
Well, yes, I will be. I'll be in Canberra. I'll be out there supporting.
Terrific.
Yeah, it should be good. It's
I,
good that we're getting.
I inboxed Ilona Maher, and I'm sure, she's 4.5 or 4.9 million followers, so I'm sure she gets plenty. But I'm still on unread. She hasn't seen it. So, anyone that wants her to jump on the pod next week, slide into her DMs and say, get on the KOKO Show. Do some of our work for us, just because at the moment she's just not seeing my message. Maybe she is and choosing not to look at it.
She might be nervous, mate.
Yeah.
She would have grown up watching you play. She's probably written 10 texts and not sent them. They're all in drafts.
Well, we'll see.
All right, very exciting stuff. Hey, look, we are running out of time here. I did want to congratulate the Australian under-20s men. They went undefeated at the Rugby Championship. They defeated Argentina 40-36, I think it was, over them. 17-all against New Zealand. 29-24 over South Africa. They ended up coming second in the comp.
Great campaign, yeah.
Great signs for the next crop of Wallabies coming through. Gits.
Yes, there is. I actually watched the game against South Africa. Early on, South Africa get to a lead, but I thought the back three for the Wallabies were, the junior Wallabies were explosive. Like a couple of the tries that they did, I think the style in which they were playing was with a lot of confidence. They get around each other. It just looked like a really tight-knit group, and obviously it's reflected in the scores too. And obviously the draw with New Zealand, but they're able to beat, the junior Pumas and the junior little Box. That was an impressive win in South Africa as well.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of little set-piece tries against Argentina as well from like halfway out. Like some good footy, sharp
Good
footy.
skill sets.
Yeah.
How long till we see them in the proper Wallaby squad, these blokes?
Next few years.
Get them in
4
sooner
years.
rather than
But
later.
they'll be there, Prof.
Oh, I know it. I love seeing, what do you call them? Green shoots.
Yeah.
Green shoots. Big bloody green shoots. All right. All I've got here is conclusion and goodbyes. In conclusion,
Already?
congratulations. Yeah, and it's gone quickly, hasn't it? To conclude, congratulations to Sione and Mack.
Yeah.
Friends of the pod.
Friends of the pod.
Friends
Fantastic.
of the pod.
And congratulations to all the other 36 Lions that have been named. Very exciting. Can't be.
Congratulations to the first 4 Lion Tamers on our board.
That's right. The props. Congratulations to them. We've all got Lions fever.
We do. Well,
Can we say that?
no, we had Kiss fever last week.
We did.
We might have Lions fever next week.
Lions. Lions fever. All right, very good. Has anybody got anything else? All I say is at kickoffs and kick-ons.
Yeah, where are they going to find us, Prof?
At kickoffs and kick-ons, www.
Com, because we're global.
That's right. Get there.
Gits, you have a good shoot and a safe flight home. Safe journey.
We'll do. I'm actually going to see a couple of Lions. Joe Marler, Jamie Roberts.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll try and get the inside scoop, maybe stitch them up and explain to them why we're going to win 3-0.
Terrific. So in the event that
Love
you
that.
get that, we'll stick that on the end of the pod now.
Okay, here I am with the king, the great king, Jamie Roberts. Jamie, on the Lion squad, what do you think? Strong squad?
Hard to disagree with any of the selections. Mara's the right man to lead that team. A couple of 50-50 calls, but on the whole, it's an unbelievable squad, full of talent, full of quality. Going to do the job then, aren't they?
Thinks he's going to do the job. I think Australia will win 3-0. But the last time, before we actually started this, he was telling me how he won the series for the Lions, British and Irish Lions, when they came down. But what is the secret? How do you think, what was the secret to your success when you guys won there?
Well, mate, it was close. I'm curtly slipping in the first test at Suncorp, that last kick. You won Mouldies, didn't you?
Yeah.
Should have won Studs, but there we are. That's another matter. Obviously, you pipped us in Melbourne, MCG, which is going to be unbelievable this year. Excited for that. And then we just did the job in Sydney, didn't we? It was nothing more, nothing less. We just turned up and a couple of quick fire tries in that second half and game went away. But look, winning a Lions series is not easy, mate. It's the only one the Lions have won this century. The Lions in over 125-year history have only ever won 5 Test series, so it ain't easy. And against the resurgent Wallabies, mate, I just hope we go to the 3rd Test. Definitely not 3-0, mate.
Yeah, no, I think everyone's sentiment's the same. You want it to go to 3 Tests. And the very last one today would have been Jonah Lomu. He would have turned 50. Obviously, a huge rugby icon, Southern Hemisphere, godlike, great fella.
What's your memories of Jonah?
So Jonah, I grew up watching and admiring Jonah as a kid, as a teenager. He actually signed at Cardiff and played at Cardiff a year before I came to the squad. So unfortunately I missed crossing paths with him that year. Everyone spoke so highly of him. Absolute rock star, but unbelievable rugby player, super humble guy. And yeah, obviously would have been his 50th today. But you know, the greatest icon our game's ever seen.
There you have it, King. Jeez, he's good.
Happy days.
All right, that was it. Give us one, Drew. KOKO! Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.